The room looks out over a small garden with more weeds than flowers. I don't sit at the window much. My imagination takes me to more interesting places. But tonight, a rabid raccoon attacks the neighbor's cat just after the sun sets. There is still light, but clouds are rolling in. He once looked up at a winter moon, pointed, his face all lit up. "Can you imagine?" he said. "Can you imagine what they thought before science? I'd be afraid of the moon." And I curled into him. I would never think that thought, would never see the moon that way. And I told myself it was lovely and that it was love, and I tried. I swear I tried. I wanted to see the moon the way he did. He threw away the Christmas gifts I bought for his family. Florence, Italy, and we had just missed the train to Milan because he was pacing and cursing and stirring his warm whiskey. He never wanted to come to San Francisco. How much do we give until we lose who we are? How much can a soul compromise before the soul is too chipped and the spirit song lost? Yesterday, I stood at the foot of the ocean and asked the universe, but there was no reply, just sea slush. So first was the Christmas incident, and I knew. In my body, I shook with what I knew. I wouldn't love him forever. Not someone who could say the things he said, and I'm not even saying all the things he said because I've blocked out so much so that I can lie and live my postcard pretty life and call it an Italian love story. Because I fall in love with ideas rather than people, because people are fucking disappointing, and no one, not one person, has surprised me and not disappointed me. How long before the tan line from my ring fades? So then the raccoon. I swear you can't make that shit up. And then there was the tire. A flat tire so deflated, like no flat tire I've ever seen, and I've seen and changed many. So deflated. Don't you see? Italy. And I'm so suffocated and unable to escape. There's nowhere to run because I have no family or no real friends nearby. San Francisco, and a cat is dying while the man I must call my husband rips my journal from my hands mid-sentence and throws it against the wall so that the framed photo of our wedding kiss slips and shatters. My journal spine is broken. The cat scratches at the fence, screeches, but the sun keeps disappearing and the neighbors won't be home for another hour and the raccoon's growl is always louder than the cat's screech. There was at least one beautiful night. I wanted cherries. He bites back a yawn in the candlelight. Winter, 1:30 a.m. But the grocery is just down the road, I whine. He stomps around the house. Right now? I nod. Maybe I thought he would say no, I don't know. Maybe I wanted him to. Maybe I wanted an argument over cherries. Here we are, grocery aisle 2, produce. And there aren't any cherries, and there aren't any employees in the aisles. So we roam, stopping in aisle 7 for a kiss. And I don't know how, but the grocery becomes like the most romantic place in the world, even with the fluorescent lights. But then he holds both of my shoulders, and he pushes me away. Then he moves away, his back to me, leaving me in aisle 7 of the grocery. I can't unhear the words that I give such meaning because they have never let me down, and I can't unsee. I want to talk sex in foreign alleys and red wine-dyed lips that I yearn to kiss and tequila in back seats because I can't take another argument in the grocery store, in the yogurt aisle, and the silent dinner that always, always follows. Half-buttoned, misbuttoned, only 2 buttons buttoned on a flannel and gray sweatpants that should have been thrown away 3 years ago. Overwashed, overworn, lint balls and growing holes, and he's watching YouTube videos at random, and it's 3 p.m. and he's barely been awake for 2 hours, and I hate his laugh and the way he eats cereal and how he takes off his socks with his toes. Did you refill the water pitcher, I ask? I don't want to ask again. That wasn't what I was asking. This is the story I don't want to tell. I finally said I was unhappy, pasta in the pot as usual, and when he turned, I saw his whiskey eyes. He smiled as he came at me, punched the wall next to my face. I had to go to work. I had to go.